Hello and welcome. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a loving couple who longed for a child. They lived next to a beautiful garden owned by an enchantress named Dame Gothel. One day, the wife, who was expecting a baby, craved the Rapunzel, a type of lettuce, that grew in the enchantress's garden. Unable to resist his wife's desire, the husband sneaked into the garden to gather some Rapunzel. However, he was caught by Dame Gothel. "How dare you steal from my garden?" she exclaimed. The man begged for mercy and explained his wife's craving. After some thought, the enchantress made a deal with him. He could take all the Rapunzel he wanted, but in return, he had to give her the child once it was born. The desperate man agreed. When the baby girl was born, Dame Gothel came and took her away. She named the child Rapunzel and raised her in a secluded tower in the middle of a forest. The tower had no doors or stairs, only a small window at the very top. As Rapunzel grew, her hair became long and golden, reaching down the entire length of the tower. Dame Gothel would visit her by calling out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," and Rapunzel would lower her hair so the enchantress could climb up. Years passed, and Rapunzel grew into a beautiful young woman. One day, a prince riding through the forest heard her singing. Entranced by her voice, he searched for its source and discovered the tower. He observed Dame Gothel calling out to Rapunzel and decided to try the same. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," he called, and to his delight, Rapunzel lowered her hair. The prince climbed up, and when Rapunzel saw him, she was frightened at first. But the prince's kind words and gentle demeanor soon won her trust. He visited her regularly, and they fell deeply in love. They planned to escape together and live happily ever after. However, one day, Rapunzel accidentally let slip to Dame Gothel that a prince had been visiting her. Furious, the enchantress cut off Rapunzel's long hair and cast her out into a desolate place. She then waited in the tower for the prince to return. When the prince arrived and called out, Dame Gothel lowered Rapunzel's cut hair. As he climbed up, he was horrified to find the enchantress instead of his beloved. In her rage, Dame Gothel pushed him from the tower. The prince fell into a thorn bush below, which blinded him. Blind and heartbroken, the prince wandered through the forest, calling out for Rapunzel. After many days, he heard a familiar voice singing. Following the sound, he found Rapunzel, who had been living a humble life in the wilderness. Overjoyed, Rapunzel embraced him, and her tears of happiness fell into his eyes, miraculously restoring his sight. Reunited, the prince and Rapunzel returned to his kingdom, where they were married and lived happily ever after. And as for Dame Gothel, she was never heard from again. And so, the tale of Rapunzel ends, a story of love, resilience, and the triumph of good over evil. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.